it was only a few months ago when we started to hear from the cast members of Game of Thrones their true feelings about the final season of Game of Thrones. And most of the people that were in season 8 of Game of Thrones were not very happy with how it turned out. There's plenty of evidence out there if you want to go look it up, but it sounds like we may be having a similar situation with Star Wars Episode 9, or just Star Wars the sequel trilogy in whole. So John Boyega promises to share true feelings on Disney's Star Wars following the rise of Skywalker. So he posted this picture on Twitter of him holding this weird drill looking gun or something, and he said janitor did good, which is pretty funny. I thought that was a really funny joke. And then Fat Iron Man says, I hope after episode 9 we hear the true feelings from the actors. Seeing Game of Thrones actors voice their displeasure with the way their show ended gives me hope. I suspect we'll hear similar stuff January, February next year. Episode 7 was okay. Episode 8 was shit. And hopefully episode 9 is good. So John Boyega then replies to Fat Iron Man and says, don't worry, I most definitely will. And then let's see here. We have even more evidence here. We have Grandmaster Biddy saying John Boyega is the most useless character in the current Star Wars franchise, which I don't necessarily agree with, but he definitely was underutilized and misused in episode 8 for sure. No question about that. But you don't hear him saying anything at how bad that writing is. And then John Boyega replies to him and says, I have those discussions on set. So it sounds to me like John Boyega agrees that the writing is bad with episode 8 or 9 or whatever, which is pretty interesting. It's pretty interesting. And, you know, I'm a little bit confused by all of this because it was only like a year ago maybe, where John Boyega posted on Twitter and said something like the fans weren't happy with Star Wars or something, and he replied and was like, we don't care, or something along those lines. I can't remember exactly what it was. Let me see here. John Boyega, we don't care. I don't know if this is going to bring anything up. But we'll see. We'll see if I can find. Okay, here it is. Okay. So, yeah. Actually, it looks like that tweet was deleted, unfortunately. So, I guess we will never know exactly what was said there. But basically somebody was like, you know, we aren't happy with the current. Let me see if there's a Google image of it, actually. There might be. We'll see. Aha, here we go. Okay, so Kelly deleted her account. You, just like normal people, fans know this is social media silence enforced by Lucasfilm due to the starting of filming. You lot are terrible. And then John Boyega replied, LOL, so funny how you think you're right. Social media silence forced on the cast. Which, you know, there's nothing really that wrong with what he's saying there. And then man like whatever replies, hey, if I'm wrong, I apologize, but this narrative that all fans are just hating her is pathetic. We hate the character, and to be honest, yours wasn't much better. And then John Boyega replies, we don't care. So I'm trying to look at this and seeing if there's like a new perspective here. We hate the character, and to be honest, yours wasn't much better. We don't care. There's not really much that changes in the perspective on this, to be completely honest. There's no new interpretation on this, which is interesting. Like that, and this was what, like a year ago? So I don't necessarily know how I feel about what John Boyega is saying here, you know? But at the same time, you know, maybe he's come to realize over the past year that there are a lot of issues with the movie and all of that stuff. That's also a possibility because people change, people grow in their opinions. So John Boyega, let's see. Boyega stated, I have those discussions on set. And then Grandmaster Biddy says, keep having those discussions. Be the hero that you were meant to be from the first movie and get the girl, not what they did to you in the second one. And then John Boyega says, heroes aren't born overnight. It's a role, not a breakdown on who I am in real life. Peace. Heroes aren't born. It's a role, not a breakdown on who I am in real life. Peace. Okay. So interesting indeed. And then there's EVS's video on it, which is pretty funny. And then, you know, we've had similar stuff that's happened with Mark Hamill. So, you know, it's kind of interesting. I really am curious to hear what the actors think about Star Wars Episode 9 or just the sequel trilogy in general after Episode 9 comes out. It'll be interesting to hear what people like John Boyega have to say. I definitely will be covering it because maybe he woke up to see what the issues and stuff. Who knows? But it definitely seems like he is not happy with the writing, with everything that's happening, and that'll be interesting to see how that plays out. Maybe he didn't realize just how terrible Episode 8 was until maybe like this past year or something. That's always a possibility as well. But yeah, there's definitely a lot going on here. And I'll be curious to see if any of the other actresses speak out about it as well. I definitely could see. I mean, we've even had what's her name? The girl who plays Rey, whatever her name is. I can't even remember her name off the top of my head. Daisy Ridley. There you go. So you know, we've even had her say some things about like the whole Reylo thing at Star Wars Celebration, which was really entertaining as well. So I don't know. Guess we'll just have to wait and see. But it definitely seems like John Boyega is not happy with the direction of Star Wars. So yeah. Let me know in the comments below. What do you think about this? What do you think about what John Boyega is saying here? I would love to hear your guys' thoughts on it, your guys' take on it. With that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will talk to you all very soon in another video. Talk to you later. Bye.